Buck Lowe has hunted the Appalachian Mountains for 30 years, tracked every animal in West Virginia: bear, deer, cougar. He grew up hearing his grandfather's stories about something else in those woods, something that walks on two legs, something 9 feet tall. Buck respected the stories but never truly believed. Until October 2023 in the Tigart Valley. 20 feet away from him stood a creature covered in dark hair, 9 feet tall, looking directly at him with eyes that reflected his flashlight. Bigfoot was real, and Buck's reaction was captured on camera. Subscribe, because what happened next will give you chills. His voice shaking, hands trembling, pure fear documented. The thermal cameras captured it too. A massive heat signature right where Buck said, "This isn't acting. This is genuine terror." This is Buck Lowe face to face with Bigfoot, and his reaction changes everything. The Tigart Valley sits deep in Randolph County, West Virginia, in the heart of Appalachian territory. Dense forest covers steep terrain for miles. The nearest town is 40 minutes away on winding mountain roads. Locals call one particular area the Dark Hollow because sunlight barely penetrates the thick canopy. This region has a history. Native American legends speak of wild men living in these mountains. Sightings date back to the 1800s when settlers first moved through the area. In September 2023, multiple recent reports reached local authorities. Hunters discovered massive footprints near creek beds. A local farmer named Dale Henderson lost 3 calves in 1 week, killed in an unusual manner that didn't match bear or cougar attacks. The tracks found near his property measured 18 inches long. Tree structures appeared overnight, branches and logs arranged in deliberate patterns that weren't natural. Campers reported strange vocalizations echoing through the valley at night, deep guttural sounds that didn't match any known animal. Dale Henderson contacted the Ames team directly. "Something's out here and it ain't natural," he told Buck over the phone. Dale described seeing a large figure crossing his field at dusk, moving upright on 2 legs. He estimated the height at 8 to 9 feet. It was covered in dark hair and moved with surprising speed despite its massive size. 2 other locals confirmed similar sightings in the same area within the past month. Buck Lowe studied the reports carefully. He examined topographical maps of the region, identifying likely travel corridors for a large creature, water sources where it might drink, caves and rock overhangs that could provide shelter. Buck's 30 years of tracking experience told him this was textbook Bigfoot territory. Dense cover, multiple water sources, abundant food, and minimal human presence. The team assembled for the investigation. Buck would lead as team leader, the role he took after Trapper's passing. Wild Bill served as second in command. Huckleberry handled tech and thermal imaging equipment. Jeff Headley provided historical research. Willie McQuillian filmed everything. They brought full equipment: thermal imaging cameras, night vision, audio recorders, and trail cameras. The plan was straightforward. Split into 2 groups for better coverage. Buck, Wild Bill, and Willie would take the North Ridge. Huckleberry and Jeff would approach from the South Valley. They'd coordinate via radio, set up thermal monitoring stations, and use calls to elicit responses from any creatures in the area. The rendezvous point was base camp by midnight. October weather provided perfect conditions. Temperature in the 40s, clear sky, nearly full moon. Good visibility, but cold enough to keep animals active. Buck felt optimistic as they geared up. "If it's out here, we'll find it tonight." At 7:30 p.m., the teams split at the trailhead. Buck's group headed north into dense forest, climbing the steep ridgeline. Huckleberry's team took the lower valley route. Radio check confirmed communication was working. "Stay sharp, stay together," Buck said before they separated. By 8:15, Buck's group found fresh tracks crossing a muddy section of trail, clearly bipedal with 5 toes. The prints measured 17 inches long and 7 inches wide. Stride length suggested 6 to 7 foot steps. Too large for human, too humanoid for bear. Buck examined them closely. These are fresh, maybe an hour old. The trail led deeper into forest, away from established paths. Buck used his tracking skills, noting broken branches at 7 to 8 foot height. Something large had passed through recently. The brush was still bent. Wild Bill followed close behind. Whatever made these is big. At 8:45, they discovered a tree structure. Logs and branches arranged in a deliberate teepee formation. Fresh breaks on the branches. This was a classic Bigfoot territorial marker. "This is what we've been looking for," Buck said. Willie captured everything on camera. Huckleberry radioed from the south team. They were hearing strange vocalizations echoing through the valley. Deep, guttural sounds. Not coyote, not wolf, coming from Buck's direction. "Whatever's up there knows you're there," Huckleberry warned. By 9:10, the tracks led uphill toward the ridge into even denser forest. Visibility was decreasing. Wild Bill suggested turning back, but Buck wanted to continue. "We're close. I can feel it. The terrain changed to rocky outcroppings with large boulders creating a maze. Caves and crevices everywhere, perfect hiding spots for something massive. At 9:35, Buck made a decision. He would scout ahead alone to check a cave entrance. "Give me 5 minutes," he told the team. Wild Bill was reluctant, but agreed. Willie filmed as Buck disappeared into the darkness with only his flashlight. What happened next would change Buck's life forever. At 9:38 p.m., Buck moved alone toward a large cave opening. His flashlight beam swept across rocks, searching for signs of habitation, hair samples, scat, anything. Years of hunting experience guided every careful step. Then the smell hit him. Overwhelming musky odor like wet dog mixed with something wilder. Buck recognized it immediately. "Oh God, it's here," he whispered into his radio. He didn't wait for a response. The smell was getting stronger with each step toward the cave entrance. A sound stopped him cold. Deep, heavy breathing. Rhythmic and controlled, coming from his left, not the cave, behind a large boulder. Buck froze completely. That breathing sounded intelligent, aware. Buck turned slowly and swung his flashlight left. The beam crossed trees, then caught something, a dark mass between the trunks, 20 feet away. His flashlight found it, and his brain struggled to process what he was seeing. The creature stood fully upright, massive, easily 9 feet tall, shoulders broader than any man, covered in dark brown, almost black hair, arms hanging past its knees, but the face stopped Buck's breath. Less hair than the body, dark skin visible, flat nose, wide nostrils, prominent brow ridge, and the eyes. The eyes caught his flashlight and reflected back like animal eyeshine, yellowish amber, looking directly at Buck. Neither moved. Buck and the creature locked eyes. Buck's flashlight remained steady on its face. The creature didn't flinch from the light, just stared back. Buck could see its chest rising and falling with each breath. This wasn't a costume. This wasn't a man. This was something else, and Buck's hand began trembling. The flashlight beam shook. "Oh my God," he whispered. His legs wouldn't move. His heart pounded visibly in his chest. The camera 40 feet back captured everything. Buck's pure shock, his frozen stance, his trembling hands. The creature stood completely still. No aggression, no fear, just observing Buck with intelligence in those amber eyes. Buck felt it studying him, thinking. 6 seconds felt like hours. Then the creature shifted its weight slightly and took one step sideways, never breaking eye contact, moving toward denser cover, and then it was gone. Willie's camera filmed from 40 feet back. He couldn't see what Buck saw in the darkness, but he captured Buck's reaction perfectly, and that's what matters. Buck's voice came through clearly on the audio. "Oh my God." Then again, "It's real. It's right there." His voice shaking, breaking, not acting, genuine shock. Years of skepticism shattered in seconds. The camera documented Buck's physical response. His knees buckled slightly. He caught himself, stumbling. His flashlight dropped briefly and he scrambled to recover it. Even from 40 feet away, his hands were visibly shaking. Body language showed pure fear. Buck took a step backward and stumbled over a root, nearly falling. He caught himself on a tree but couldn't look away. His flashlight beam trembled violently. Every instinct screamed run, but Buck forced himself to stay. He reached for his radio with his left hand while keeping the flashlight on the creature. His hand shook too much. He dropped the radio. When he bent to pick it up and looked back up, the creature was gone. "No, no, no, where'd it go?" Panic filled his voice. He spun in circles, flashlight sweeping frantically. Wild Bill came running. "Buck, what happened?" He found Buck standing there, flashlight sweeping wildly. "It was right there," Buck pointed. 20 feet, Bill, 20 feet. "What was? What did you see?" Wild Bill asked. Buck's answer came tumbling out. "Bigfoot, Bill. I saw Bigfoot. 9 feet tall, covered in hair. It was looking at me, right in the eyes, Bill. It was real. It was right there." Wild Bill had known Buck for decades. He'd never seen him like this. Buck doesn't scare easily. Buck doesn't exaggerate. If Buck said he saw it, Wild Bill believed him completely. Okay, you're all right," Wild Bill said calmly, calling the rest of the team. Buck had to sit down on a rock, adrenaline crashing, legs weak, hands still shaking. "I've been hunting these things for years," he said quietly. "Always believed they were out here, but seeing one, that's different. That changes everything." Willie's primary camera footage shows Buck approaching the cave, his flashlight visible in the darkness. Then his posture changes suddenly. His entire body tenses. The flashlight beam focuses on one spot and holds there for several seconds. Then the reaction begins, all captured on film. The audio analysis reveals Buck's voice clearly recorded saying, "Oh my God," multiple times. Heavy breathing is audible. Radio fumbling sounds. But there's something else. A deep, low rumble. Not human. Not Buck. Something else was there. Huckleberry's thermal camera from the ridge shows Buck's heat signature clearly. And something else. A large heat signature appears near Buck behind the boulder area. It registers warmer than ambient temperature, suggesting a living mammal. The signature is roughly human-shaped but much larger, 8 to 9 feet tall, standing upright. The thermal shows both signatures stationary for several seconds. Then the larger one shifts position, moves left toward the trees, and disappears from thermal view. Too fast for something that size. "That's not a person," Huckleberry said. "Nothing moves like that." When Willie's footage is enhanced and slowed down, 1 or 2 frames show a dark mass visible between trees when Buck's flashlight swings. The figure appears too tall for a human with wrong proportions. Arms too long. 1 frame captures eye shine. Amber yellow coloring reflecting from Buck's flashlight at approximately 8 feet high. Not deer, wrong color. Not bear, wrong height. Not human, humans don't have eye shine. After the encounter, the team searched the area and found physical evidence. A ground depression where something heavy stood, measured 18 inches long with a partial print visible. Casts were made immediately. Hair samples were found on bark at 7-foot height, dark brown, coarse texture. The hair was sent for analysis. Results came back. Primate, but not gorilla, not chimpanzee, not human. Unknown species. Buck led the team back to the exact spot an hour later. The musky odor was still present. The entire team confirmed the smell. "Like wet dog and something else," Wild Bill described it. "I've smelled bear before. This ain't bear." The next morning at base camp, Buck sat with coffee. His hands were steadier, but something had changed in him. The team gathered with cameras rolling to hear the full story. "I've hunted these mountains 30 years, Buck began. "Seen bear, cougar, everything. Nothing prepared me for that." He took a deep breath. "It was aware, you understand? Not like an animal, like something in between." Buck described the face in detail. The hair on its body was thick, but the face had less. Could see the skin, dark, leathery, but the eyes, he paused, getting emotional. The eyes looked intelligent. It was studying me. The emotional impact was clear. "I've never felt fear like that. Complete primal terror. Every instinct said run, but I couldn't move. Couldn't look away. It's like it held me there." His voice cracked slightly. The emotion was genuine. "I've dedicated years to this." Trapper believed. I believed. But seeing it, that's proof. Not just to others. Proof to myself. They're real. Buck admitted he didn't sleep that night. Keep seeing those eyes, wondering what it was thinking. Did it know I wouldn't hurt it? Is that why it just watched? So many questions. But I know what I saw. People can doubt the show, can say we're actors. But I know. I looked into its eyes, 20 feet away. That was real. Nothing can take that from me. Buck's message was clear. They're out there, living in these mountains, avoiding us mostly, but they're there. I'm proof now. I've seen one, and I'll never forget it. Then Buck got emotional talking about Trapper. Wish Trapper was here. He'd understand. He saw things too. Now I know what he felt. That mix of fear and wonder. Trapper. We were right. He had to pause, too overcome to continue. The interview captured a man fundamentally changed by what he witnessed. Buck Lowe wasn't acting. He was processing something that shattered everything he thought he knew about the world. Wild Bill has known Buck for 20 years. Never seen him scared. He was terrified. When I got to him, he was shaking. Couldn't talk straight. Whatever he saw was real. Buck doesn't fake that. Wild Bill described finding Buck standing frozen with his flashlight pointing at trees, saying, "It was right there. Over and over. I looked, didn't see nothing, but Buck saw something. No doubt in my mind." Huckleberry watched from the ridge on thermal. "I saw Buck's signature. Then this other signature appears. Bigger, warmer, standing near him. Both just standing there. Then the big one moves and disappears from thermal. Too fast, that shouldn't happen." Huckleberry's technical analysis was definitive. Heat signature was consistent with large primate. Body temperature higher than ambient, suggesting mammal. Size estimated 8 to 9 feet based on thermal reading. This wasn't equipment malfunction. This was something. Jeff Headley focused on the research. "This area has history. Sightings going back decades. Native American legends. Buck's encounter fits the pattern. Location, behavior, description. Everything matches historical reports. This is textbook Bigfoot encounter." Jeff's conviction was strong. "I've researched hundreds of cases. Buck's is among the most credible. Multiple forms of evidence, thermal, video, witness testimony, hair samples, footprints, all corroborating the same story. This is the real deal." Willie has filmed hundreds of episodes. Never caught Buck like that. That reaction was genuine. You can't fake that fear. The way his voice shook, his hands trembling, that was real terror. Willie's perspective was unique. "I couldn't see what Buck saw. Too dark, too far. But I saw him. Saw his reaction. That's the proof. Buck Lowe doesn't scare. Whatever he saw scared him. That tells you everything. The team reached consensus. We all believe Buck. The evidence supports him. Thermal shows something there. Video shows his reaction. Physical evidence matches. This was a real encounter. No doubt among the team. This encounter validated years of work and proved what Trapper always believed. They're really out there. When the episode aired, social media exploded. #BuckSawBigfoot trended immediately. Millions of views within hours. Reaction videos flooded YouTube. The paranormal community divided sharply. Believers responded enthusiastically. Finally, proof! Buck's reaction says everything. You can't fake that fear. The thermal evidence convinced many. Bigfoot researchers analyzed the footage frame by frame. This is the best evidence yet, many declared. Believers pointed to Buck's credibility, 30 years of hunting experience, not prone to exaggeration. His genuine fear was documented, physical shaking visible on camera. The thermal signature provided independent verification. Hair sample analysis showed unknown primate. Everything aligned perfectly. Skeptics argued differently. Reality TV is scripted. Buck's an actor playing a role. Producers told him what to do. They questioned the thermal readings. Could be faked or misinterpreted. The hair sample results were dismissed as contamination. Convenient that there's no clear footage of the creature itself. The skeptics' main complaint focused on the lack of clear images. If it was 20 feet away, why no clear photo? Convenient darkness. Convenient camera angle. Just Buck's reaction and a thermal blob. They demanded better evidence. Believers countered logically. The creature was in shadows. Buck's flashlight wasn't powerful enough for clear photography. The camera was 40 feet back, not in position. Buck didn't have a camera himself. He wasn't prepared for the encounter. This is what a real encounter looks like, not a documentary setup. Even skeptics admitted Buck's reaction seemed genuine. Either he saw something real, or he's an Oscar-worthy actor. Body language experts analyzed the footage. Genuine fear response. Can't fake those micro-expressions. Pupil dilation visible. Voice stress analysis indicates truth. Thermal experts confirmed. Signature is consistent with large primate. The middle ground emerged. Buck saw something. Maybe not Bigfoot, but something scared him genuinely. The encounter itself was real. The identity of the creature remains debatable. This encounter stands out among Bigfoot evidence. Multiple evidence types. Credible witness, documented reaction, technical data, physical samples, historical context. Even serious skeptics take it seriously. Buck couldn't sleep for days after the encounter. He kept replaying the moment, seeing those amber eyes every time he closed his own. The nightmares eventually faded, but the memory never did. The experience changed his entire perspective on hunting. Buck approaches investigations differently now, more cautious, hyper-aware of surroundings. I know they're watching. I know they're intelligent. They're not just cryptids. They're living, thinking beings that deserve respect. The encounter strengthened his relationship with the team. They validated him without question, supported him completely. That's family, Buck says. The shared mission was renewed with greater purpose. Buck feels closer to Trapper now. I understand what he experienced, the weight of knowing. Trapper saw things too. Now I know what he carried. That knowledge, that certainty, it changes you. The connection to Trapper's memory makes the work more meaningful. As team leader, Buck has more confidence. I know we're pursuing real creatures, not just legends. Real beings. That makes everything we do matter. It honors Trapper's memory and validates years of effort. Public perception doesn't concern Buck anymore. Some mock him, some believe him. I don't care. I know what I saw. Don't need anyone's approval. I was there, 20 feet away. His confidence is unshakable. Buck's message to others is clear. They're out there. I'm living proof. I looked one in the eyes. If you spend time in deep woods, respect what's there. You're in their territory. They're watching you. The experience reevaluated Buck's priorities. This work matters. Finding truth matters. If they exist, they need protection from people who'd hurt or exploit them. Education, not exploitation. They're not monsters, just creatures trying to survive. 1 year later, Buck reflects on October 2023. Changed my life. Before and after that night. Before I believed. After, I knew. That's everything. He gets emotional. People can doubt. People can mock. I don't care. I was there, 20 feet away, looked into its eyes. It looked back. That's mine. Nobody can take that. His voice breaks. Those eyes. I'll never forget those eyes.